Hi, my name is Bert Lamar. I'm the founder, designer, and owner of Iliac Golf by Bert Lamar. My background's not your typical background. It's a pretty interesting lifestyle background. I grew up on the beaches of Southern California, and by the age of 10, I was immersed into the sport of skateboarding. I was at a skateboard park from sunrise to sunset. Within a few years, I found myself at a pretty high level competing as a professional skateboarder with the likes of Tony Hawk and Stevie Caballero, and starting to travel nationally and a little internationally at a young age. On my days off, I was in fabric stores with my mother, who happened to be a designer and a sewer, and her mother had been a sewer for over 30 years working for Singer. The other aspect of my design background comes from my father's side. My father has over 35 years experience as a plastic incision mold maker. So our dinner conversations were how to develop products that could be made in a plastic mold, or using technology to design functional products. So this led to my second passion and sport. I fell in love with snowboarding, and I started traveling the world. I ended up winning a couple world halfpipe titles pretty early on in my snowboarding career. Not only was I competing as a high-level snowboarder, I was actually also hired by Sim Snowboards and Vision Streetwear to develop their snowboard apparel. So it was very interesting for me to have this balance of the sport and of the design. I think it's always been a balance, and I still continue that balance today. Snowboarding took my design experience to a new level. Because my snowboard brand, Lamar Snowboards, that I formed in the late 80s, was really blossoming. We were growing in hundreds and hundreds of the best specialty snowboard shops worldwide. So from a design standpoint, I was developing very technical products at this point. Snowboard bindings with plastics, and snowboards with fiberglass and steel and composites from all over the world. Even though it was very technical, it was the easier of the three. Developing our outerwear was something that we developed with suppliers from Italy and all over the world. I've always been sourcing nothing but the best that worked for me and the players kind of out on the battlefield, up on the mountain.
Bert was the world champion in snowboarding a few years back. Really getting back into the competitive scene again this year, mainly in the halfpipe end. That's a high there.
So I was able to take all this knowledge that I've learned skateboarding and snowboarding with my design background and take that to my third passion and my third love, which was golf. I remember like yesterday when I kind of re-fell in love with golf. I remember sitting in Colorado at Breckenridge in a nice hotel room. It was snow dumping, probably 3 to 5 feet of snow. And I turned on the TV, I turned on some golf, and I'm watching these guys walk down this sunny, nice, warm fairway. It happened to be Augusta. It's beautiful, there's flowers. The guy had someone carrying his bag, and he looked really comfortable. And so my immediate thought was, hey, okay, I've had success as a skateboarder and as a snowboarder. I'm gonna become a pro golfer. That looks way more fun than this cold stuff in the snow. So I put my focus into golf, and it became my passion. Just after a few years of training with some good instructors up at Las Posas in Southern California, and I developed a game. I actually, it's probably the worst thing that happened to me, because I almost qualified for the LA Open, and I figured, okay, I can make a career out of this. But after a few more years of competing and seeing the level of difficulty, I realized that getting my amateur status back would be more realistic. And it allowed me to get the balance that I've always had in design and in sport, and that's when I formed Iliac Golf. But knowing my passion and my connection with the core, I knew I had something that's pretty unique and pretty special, and not too many designers and companies are going to be able to emulate what comes really from the heart and from the battlefield. and the combination of the sport and design. Welcome to my design studio here in Carlsbad, California. This is where it all happens. This is where I compile all my ideas and thoughts. It's pretty unique for me to have such a special place where I can work on my product and bring those ideas from the majors to my design board and then into the factory. Our cutting-edge design is really an accumulation of the relationships we have, the feedback that we're able to get from today's greatest players. And being a competitor, being a player, I think that relationship is even a step further. I can relate to them as a player, as a friend, and as a designer. I'm able to get inside their heads and even help them discover things that they want in a product that they might not even have known. This relationship I have with these players and with these clubs is the key ingredient that really inspires me to develop something unique, something special, something that's not everywhere, and something that really connects to the roots of the game but has arms in the future of today's design. And that's where Iliac is today.